you're going to be a real adult, if you're going to try and get your adult-ish in order,
Amen.
start being responsible, and be responsible for the way in which you acted. Be responsible
Amen.
for the way in which you've done something to somebody. I've been in situations with people who, let's say we hung out, we did whatever, we were whatever with each other, and they disappear. They go ghost on me.
Right.
And then, you know, one scenario I had somebody go ghost on me, and then they came back like it was nothing. And then it was kind of like, well, hey, like, what's going on?
Right.
And they're just like, well, you know, just talking like regular. Just regular.
Right.
And I sat there, and this has happened to me over the years.
Yes.
Literally. Multiple times over the years. But, you know, these people, they'll look at me and they're like, they just start trying to strike up relationships that we may have had in the past, like it was nothing. And I look at all of them like, you know, what would make this actually work if you said you were sorry for doing what you did. Right. Acknowledging the fact that you left me at a place where I was maybe confused, or I felt like maybe it was my fault, or whatever. Just own up to that and say, I was wrong for doing that. And maybe I need to be a little bit more aggressive in telling people this is what you did, and this is how it made me feel, to probably push people into saying they're sorry to me.
Maybe you can try that, because like that's how I get at times where I say, okay, listen, cut the gaslighting shit out. This is what you did. This is what you said. It hurt me. And I'm okay with even saying that, like, yo, I was hurt when you did that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like,
family, friends, lovers, everybody. Because I had moments with my mom. She would say something heinous to me one day, or she would like hurt my feelings, and then the next day she'll hug me and kiss me like nothing happened. Yeah. And I'm like, or you can say I'm sorry, right?
Right. Even though sometimes that's some people's way of saying I'm sorry.
And that's the thing. Right. You have to know, and that's why I say, like, you have to learn how to say you're sorry. That's how some people say they're sorry.
And meet people where they are
and meet people where they are.
Ooh, this is so layered.
It's really layered, because sometimes you have to meet people where they are, because you know what? They just don't know how to say I'm sorry. But for those of you, it's 2 words. I'm sorry.
And mean it.
Because there's one thing to say I'm sorry, it's another to actually mean it and feel that you are sorry.
Right. Because empathic people and empaths,
we can tell the difference.
And we're not talking about empaths like Phoebe from Charmed, where you're gonna walk into a room and channel people's energy.
I know.
Like an empath, like a sociopath, like an apathic person. An empath is someone who can read body language and trust and believe. We can read body language, you can read energy. We will know.
Yeah, whether or not
that shit is not real.
Yeah. It's so true.
Oh, this is gonna be something we're gonna have to come back to, because it's so layered. It's like, but we wanted to start this conversation because part of being a real adult, like you said, girl,
getting that adult-ish on.
Get your adult-ish on. Yo, like, own your shit. Like, realize when you are toxic. If you are toxic, realize that shit. Please, we are begging you. Realize it.
And even if you are toxic and let's say you don't know how to say you're sorry, at the very least, be self-aware and saying to the person, you know what? I don't know how to say I'm sorry. I will take that versus somebody not saying anything at all.
I hurt you.
Yes, I know I hurt you, and I don't know how. I don't know how to apologize. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say I'm sorry. Say that. I can take that. I can understand. Okay, you don't know how to say it, but you at the very least acknowledge that something bad happened, that something wrong is there, that there's something that's a disconnect. Yes. Acknowledgement. So it's acknowledgement.
Just want to be acknowledged.
Be responsible. Take responsibility and ownership for the way that you're hurting people. Understand that there is strength, not weakness, in forgiving and saying I'm sorry. Understand that, you know, there is strength in being in that bubble of forgiveness and saying I'm sorry and receiving it and forgiving the person receiving that forgiveness. Understand that there is so much strength there, and that will only make people stronger. That's why it's so good to say I'm sorry, because once you say that, you get over that hurdle. You start the healing process from the hurt. When you don't, that wound, it just stays there.
Yeah, Afiya is on her shit today. Like, girl, like, yo, I mean, I am over here nodding. I wish I could see my head. Like, if this is a live performance, y'all would see my big black ass head just going up and down. Like, yes, yes.
There's so much, and I mean, like I said, this is a conversation to continue.
Yeah, it will.
But
it will.
But for the most part, if you can take anything from at least this first part of the conversation,
part one.
Learn the strength in saying I'm sorry. Learn the strength in forgiveness. Understand that does not make you weak for saying I'm sorry.
It makes you powerful.
It makes you powerful.
It makes you a man. It makes you a woman.
It makes you a man. It makes you a woman. It makes you a person.
It makes you non-binary.
For a non-binary person, it makes you a person.
It makes you a human.
It makes you a human.
There you go.
And it
Fuck
makes
gender. It makes you a
you
human.
an adult.
Bam. And on that note,
we're gonna wrap this episode up of the
Afiya.
Adultish podcast. I would love to thank my co-host, Mr. Vincent Bernard, for dropping by.
Yes.
Drop the socials on him, Vincey.
Okay, because I'm in my feels. Okay. all right. I'm gonna drop my socials. I'm coming down, y'all. Facebook is Vincent Bernard. I love doing these recordings with Afiya. I really do.
I love it too.
Facebook is Vincent Bernard. Twitter is Vince_Bernard. And my Instagram is Vincent Bernard _83.
Bam. And you can find me at ALJA0214 on Instagram or on Twitter at LaJoliePoeta. That's LAJOLIEPOETA. You can follow the Adultish podcast on social media on both Twitter and Instagram at Adultish P0DCAST. If you have anything that you want to talk to us about, you can hit us up on email at Afiya@digidisnet.com. That's Afiya at DIGIDISNET.com.
Yes.
Once again, we'll have to thank Vincent for stopping by to have this conversation. I would implore you all, if you like what you hear, if you're nodding, if you're saying yes, if you're snapping your fingers, if you're feeling what we're putting down, make sure to like, share, listen, subscribe, comment, everything, all of the above when it comes to the Adultish podcast, which is going to be on most streaming platforms. Again, Finny, thank you for being with me.
Thank you, Afiya. This is a real one.
This was a real one.
We were in our feels.
We were in our feels. And you know what? We're not sorry about that.
And we're not sorry about that.
Bam!
Oh, I love
Look how
you.
he brought it back.
No.
And with that, bye.
Bye.